Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much. You may be seated. I want to welcome everyone to the historic East Room for this very important roundtable, and that is on mental health awareness. Before we begin, however, I do want to introduce my HHS secretary, Dr. Rachel Levine. She's doing a very good job over HHS and is she done a lot of work on this roundtable. I'm looking forward to hearing her input on this as we proceed through the day. Secondly, and I think she has a vested interest in this as well as our acting education secretary, soon to be education secretary, and that's Dr. Gonzalez. Dr. Gonzalez, thank you very much and welcome. You have a seat at the table here because very much mental health is a problem in our public schools, and we need to address that. And Dr. Gonzalez and Dr. Levine will be addressing those issues together as we go through this roundtable. But May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're shining a bright light on something that touches every American family: the mental health and emotional well being of our children, our parents, our veterans, and our communities. Folks, I've heard it from teachers who see students struggling with anxiety every day. I heard it from counselors in suburban schools who are overwhelmed. And I heard it from parents right here in Metro DC and back home in Texas and across this country who feel like they're fighting this whole thing alone. Let me just say, this is not a side issue. Mental health is central to strong families. When our kids are struggling, when our veterans carry invisible wounds, or when our working parents are stretched to the breaking point, it affects everything: school performance, family stability, and the strength of our communities. That's why we're making mental health a core part of our family's first agenda. We're expanding access to services in schools, reducing stigma so families feel safe seeking help, supporting our teachers and counselors who are often on the first line of defense, and they really are almost on a daily basis, and connecting mental health care to our broader efforts on education equality and lowering cost. Bottom line is we cannot expect our children to reach their full potential if we ignore their emotional well being. We cannot ask parents to carry these burdens alone, and they shouldn't. To every counselor, every parent, every advocate, and every expert in this room, thank you. Thank you for your work. Your work is essential, and you are not alone. I can say that for this administration. We back you 100%. And we stand with you. And we will keep pushing until mental health support is available, accessible, and free of the stigma for every family that needs it. And that is really, I think, primarily the biggest issue is the stigma attached to seeking mental health. I think so many times um, we see situations, if they only reached out for help, were they embarrassed? Were they afraid what their friends are going to say? And then when before they reach out for help, they make a decision that's doesn't end very well. I know just back home we had that kind of situation happen back home in DeSoto, and it shook our community. And so this is about um, ensuring that everyone who needs mental health assistance gets it. And that's what this roundtable is really about. That's why we pulled the experts in from HHS, education, and other departments to come here to the White House today to talk about this. This is so important. You know, and I won't talk much about it. Um, don't know a lot of details about it. I just know that there was a student at my former high school uh, that took their life. That should never have happened. That should never have happened. And so the goal is to ensure that when these students are in crisis, that they feel safe going to a counselor, going to a principal, going to someone who can assist them. You know, one of my dear friends is a counselor back home in Texas, and as you enter her office, as you go through the door, it says you're entering a safe place to spill the beans. That's actually what it says. And folks, students across the country, we're going to ensure that everyone who needs that safe place and spill the beans has it. Okay, so we're going to begin this roundtable as always per our standard policy. We're going to ask the media to step out. We appreciate them for being here for the opening comments on this, though. We're going to get started and have some very frank discussions and hopefully get a lot of answers. But thank you guys very much. Thank you. Thank you.